The question from Senator Cruz, along with Senators Hawley and Graham, is for both sides, the counsel for the President and the House managers. Yesterday, Manager Demings refused to answer whether Joe Biden sought any legal advice concerning his conflict of interest on Burisma, the corrupt Ukrainian company that was paying his son Hunter $1 million per year. USA Today reported that when asked about it, Vice President Biden said, excuse me, quote, he hadn't spoken to his son Hunter Biden about his overseas business, end quote. That account was contradicted by Hunter Biden, who told the New Yorker that he told his father about Burisma and, quote, Dad said, I hope you know what you're doing, and I said, I do. Why do Joe and Hunter Biden's stories conflict? Did the House ask either one that question? The White House counsel goes first.
You heard our answer. I'm sorry, Chief Justice, Senators. Senators, you heard our answer regarding that yesterday, but it is very interesting that he said he never spoke to his son about overseas dealings. His son said different things. Joe Biden was the point man for Ukraine, investigating. At the time, Ukrainians were a corrupt company, Burisma, and Zlochevsky, its owner, an oligarch who, by all media accounts we've discussed, was extremely corrupt. Hunter Biden is paid $83,000 a month to sit on that board with no experience in energy, no experience in the Ukraine, doesn't speak the language, and we clearly know that he had a very fancy job description. And he did none of those things. He attended 1 or 2 board meetings, one in Monaco, and then he went on a fishing trip with Joe Biden's family in Norway. The entire time, Joe Biden knows that this oligarch is corrupt. Everyone knows that. There are news reports everywhere. No one will dispute that. In fact, it raised eyebrows worldwide. But the vice president, by his account, never once asked his son to leave the board. We wouldn't be sitting here if he did. He never asked his son to leave the board. Instead, he started investigating the prosecutor who was going after Burisma and this corrupt oligarch who they say was corrupt even by oligarch standards, who had fled the country, living in Monaco. He does not ask him to leave the board. He does the opposite. In 2015, what does he do? We know by reports he has close contact with President Poroshenko. He travels to Ukraine twice. He links it to the fire. He links the aid to the firing. Same thing in 2016 at a White House meeting. Links the aid to the firing of the prosecutor. Calls him 4 times in the 8 days up to leading to the prosecutor. The prosecutor investigating Hunter Biden, yet he never says that. All cases closed. Days before Biden leaves office, he jokes to Poroshenko that he may have to call him every couple weeks to check in. Hunter Biden stays on that board for 3 years. 3 years. Then we hear the video of Joe Biden bragging about firing the prosecutor, linking it to aid. Then we have the 6-minute phone call.
Mr. Chief Justice.
Oh, there's the I'm sorry. The House managers have 2.5 minutes.
Mr. Chief Justice, and to our senators. Senators, thank you so much for that question. I know you have asked about a conversation between a father and his son. And what I can tell you, probably like just about everybody in this chamber, there are probably some conversations that I can't repeat to you about my conversations with my son. So I don't know the answer to your question, Senator, what that exact conversation was. But what I can tell you is this. If we are serious about why we are here, and I have no reason to doubt that we are, if we are serious about seeking the truth, because the truth matters, not just for those who have paid the price in our history to form a more perfect union and protect our democracy, but it's important for our future. And in this case, if we're serious about that, then I can tell you this, that we are serious then about hearing from fact witnesses. Looking at the Bidens, no matter how many times we call their name, we have no evidence to point to the fact that either Biden has anything at all to tell us about the president shaking down a foreign power to help him cheat in the next election, the precious election, trying to steal each individual in this country's vote. I don't believe either Biden has any information about that, but let me tell you who I think does. Maybe we should call Ambassador Bolton. If we're serious about the truth, maybe we should call him because we have a good idea about what he might say. Or what about Mr. Mulvaney, who had day-to-day contact with the principal in our investigation, the President of the United States? That's not good enough. Well, what about, the question was asked about when did we know? Or when did the President first put the hold on? Well, we do have reports that say on June 19th of 2019, Mr. Blair personally instructed the director of OMB to hold up security assistance from Ukraine over a month before the infamous July 25th call. So,
Thank you, Mrs. Manager Demings.
thank you, Mr. Chief Justice.
November 8th is a day of reckoning for all those who have abused their power. It's the day when we, the people, will take back our government. From Washington bureaucrats playing doctor with our health care, to a president who's been playing fast and loose with our constitutional rights and Russian roulette with our borders. November 8th is when America feels safe again. Because that's when America wins again. Because winning this election means reclaiming something to which I've dedicated my entire career, the rule of law. Laws that make our neighborhoods safe, laws that make our economy strong, laws that apply equally to everyone. And Louisiana, now more than ever, laws that back our law enforcement. They have our backs, and Donald Trump will have your backs. But today, these laws are under siege by a president determined to ignore laws he doesn't like, and by a former Secretary of State who believes the laws don't apply to her. And by the way, she deserves no security clearance. How do you become President of the United States when you have no security clearance? This lawlessness must stop right here, right now. Donald Trump will stop it. Lock her up, I love that. Stay with me. Donald is going to roll back Obama's unconstitutional executive orders. Hang on. Donald's going to roll back Obama's unconstitutional orders. He will enforce our immigration laws to keep us safe, while allowing legal immigrants to bless this nation with their talents and their dreams. And California California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. Donald Trump will take control of our borders. Because we must stop the influx of cocaine and heroin coming into our country and my state, killing our kids. Oh, and then there's this. Hillary believes our enemies, this is unreal. Hillary believes our enemies deserve our respect and empathy. Donald Trump believes terrorists deserve to die. Hillary will stack the Supreme Court with liberal justices who will allow government to continue its rampage against our individual rights with utter contempt for our Second Amendment. I know Donald, and I am proud to know Donald. He will appoint conservative justices who will defend rather than rewrite our Constitution. I have one question for all of you here today. Are you ready to send ISIS a message that we are really coming after them? When Donald Trump is president, he will. So, America, on November 8th, remember this. If you believe in limited government, if you believe in our historic constitutional rights, if you believe in the rule of law, if you believe it's time for America to start acting like America again, there is only one choice in this election: Donald Trump. America's for Trump, and so am I. God bless America, and God bless the Trump family. Thank you.